It was November 1997. I had saved up the last 6 months from doing chores, mowing lawns, and the Sunday paper route. I remember flipping through the pages of GamePro and Electronic Gaming Monthly, both buzzing about the upcoming release of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, the long-awaited next chapter in one of gaming's most acclaimed franchises. Avoiding reading the reviews but seeing the scores, my excitement was hard to contain as my mother drove me to the local EB Games. The screenshots alone couldn't have prepared me for just how incredible this journey was about to be. So today, let's rewind the clock and revisit what is widely considered one of the greatest video games of all time. Spearheaded by the legendary Koji Igarashi, who would later become the lead producer for the Castlevania series, this was the game that reshaped the franchise forever. Igarashi would go on to bring us such titles as Castlevania Chronicles, Dawn of Sorrow, and Portrait of Ruin, and eventually work on the series' spiritual successor, Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. Interestingly, Symphony of the Night originally began development as a 32X title, a version that was ultimately cancelled. Igarashi pushed for the project to be reimagined on a new platform, leading to its release on the Sony PlayStation. What followed was something truly special, a seamless blend of Metroid-style exploration with role-playing game mechanics, helping define the genre we know as Metroidvania. Despite its brilliance, the game struggled at launch. Poor marketing and the industry's rapid shift towards 3D gaming left this 2D masterpiece overlooked. But through word of mouth and the sheer quality of the title, Symphony of the Night found its audience. Its striking mix of 2D and 3D visuals, combined with unforgettable art direction across environments and characters, elevated it into a timeless classic. And then, there's the music. Every new area greets you with track after track that feels instantly iconic. Absolute bangers that deserve a spot on any gamer's playlist. Richter Belmont even returns with the iconic whip flail, carried forward from Castlevania 4. Seriously, who doesn't love spinning this thing around? Dracula's army is vast and wildly varied. Each enemy is brought to life with stunning animation and unique abilities, making the castle feel like a living, breathing ecosystem of monsters. The developers didn't have to go that extra mile, but they did. Even the death animations are lovingly crafted, almost giving you more detail into the character and design of the monsters as they depart the realm of the living. To bolster his dark dominion, Dracula commands a formidable roster of loyal generals, each tasked with leading his legions and spreading terror throughout the world. His inner circle is a nightmarish blend of myth and memory, legendary creatures pulled from folklore such as the Minotaur, Medusa, and the Mummy, stand alongside twisted echoes of past Castlevania heroes like Grant, Sifa, and Trevor Belmont. And, of course, looming over all of them is Death himself, ever faithful to his eternal master. Of course, no talk of Symphony of the Night would be complete without mentioning Shaft, the Dark Priest and true architect behind Dracula's resurrection. Shaft pulls the strings that set the entire nightmare into motion. And yes, his name is...
Can you dig it?
If there's one area where the game shows its age, it's the voice acting. But honestly, at the time, voice work in games was still a novelty. We were just excited to hear characters speak at all. The bar was low, and yet, somehow, despite the stiffness and occasional awkward delivery, lines became legendary in their own right.
Mankind ill needs a savior such as you.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets. But enough talk. Have at you.
Symphony of the Night features multiple endings, with 4 variations depending on how thoroughly you explore and which key items you obtain. To achieve the true ending of the game, you must uncover specific relics that reveal the game's deeper secrets, and the real castle to be revealed, upside down, fully mirrored, and packed with tougher, more aggressive enemies. In this new castle, you're tasked with collecting the scattered remains of Dracula himself, to finally confront your father and bring an end to the dark legacy that runs through your bloodline. The final battle is nothing short of monumental. Dracula's ultimate form is towering, grotesque, and terrifying, fully living up to everything the Lord of Darkness has built up to be. Your blood starts pumping, palms become sweaty as you rally to the end of what has been an incredible journey. Castlevania Symphony of the Night isn't just a game. It's a defining moment in gaming history. A title that dared to go against the trends of its time, and in doing so, created something that would influence generations of developers and players alike. Nearly 3 decades later, its design philosophy, atmosphere, and ambition still resonate, standing as a benchmark of what thoughtful game design can achieve. This was more than just a battle between father and son. It was a story about legacy, identity, and breaking free from the darkness you're born into. Every room explored, every secret uncovered, and every enemy defeated added to a journey that felt personal, deliberate, and unforgettable. For many of us, Symphony of the Night wasn't just something we played, it was something we experienced. A game we returned to, talked about, and held onto long after the console was turned off. And whether you stepped into Dracula's castle back in 1997 or discovered it years later, its magic remains undiminished. So if you've never played it, there's never a better time to do so now. If you have, maybe it's time to return to the castle once more. Thank you for watching, guys, gals, friends, and pals. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like, and comment your favorite thing about the video or your favorite memory about Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Until next time, happy hunting, friends.
Matthew 16:26, I believe. Tell me, what were Lisa's last words?
She said, "Do not hate humans. If you cannot live with them, then at least do them no harm, for theirs is already a hard lot." She also said to tell you that she would love you for all of eternity.
Lisa, forgive me. Farewell, my son.